Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
So in Dallas, I'm really proud to own a company called Dandy Duct Cleaning. So we started out as a duct cleaner. We now do HVAC and garage doors, actually.
When did you add garage doors?
We added garage doors last year sometime.
Because you're the expert with garage door marketing.
The garage door industry is tough, though, because the problem is that HVAC and some plumbers can hit those 10x ROIs in the summer, right? In the shoulder season, which you guys did like 7.5x in September, which was pretty good for as shoulder season comes in, right? But anyways, garage door guys, those ROIs aren't there unless you have like an epic brand. Like if you're Tommy Mello in Phoenix with A1, yes, you can do a 15x ROI, you know. But at the same time, if he goes to open up a new market in, Austin or Minneapolis, guarantee that ROI might be 3 to 1, right? It might be in even less. So anyways, garage door ROIs are more difficult to achieve. And so I think more people are kind of skittish to run those. But so actually you're speaking about sometimes like with third party call centers, sometimes the marketing we do is better, but still not good enough, So even though we're better, I'll just say there's never been another agency achieve better results than us. I mean,
that's right.
Whenever we take over a client from someone else, we always outperform what they previously
did. Don't you love how humble Forrest is?
It's because all I do. It's all we do.
But the opposite of every
here's my favorite thing about
space.
Forrest. If Oscar is in here right now, Forrest is not an early riser.
No, I'm not.
And he's a late night worker. He's not.
I work till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
And what time? How late do you sleep?
Getting into all my business here. So, no, I'm about a 9 a.m. riser when I can.
And then he works till 2. So
and then I lay in the bed on my phone answering text messages.
That's just your natural rhythm.
Yeah, which I don't think, because a lot of people are like the 5 a.m. club and stuff, which is fine. But some people are just perform better. And I suck at waking up early. I do it, and because that's when I have to be at work,
right.
But I would perform better if I would start at 9 and
that's
work
why
that
the other
shift.
day when I texted you about the question I had that you and I talked about, Cassie was like, Forrest isn't even up yet. It's fine. I was like, Forrest is ignoring me about this message. I'm so stressed out. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
He's not
text me at 2 a.m. I'll answer.
She's like, he's not messaging me. I was like, he's not awake yet. But you're not an early riser. And I love that because I know there's some people that because I'm on 24/7. Sure. And so if I find a problem, I have to tell our team, I'm going to send this message to you. And my team also knows from this podcast, shout out Hannah, because she always says, I listen to your podcast, so I know they know I cannot stand if I send a message and you don't acknowledge it.
Right.
In Teams, right? Just acknowledge, just thumbs up it, just tell me you're working on it. Sure. Because if it just like is blank, I'm thinking it's not.
Do you guys prefer email or text?
Text.
I think text is so much better.
I don't even check my email.
Wait.
Literally, someone just messaged me about an email.
But it's hard when you're scaling.
It's hard when you scale. Fair enough.
So, but she... I'll tell my team.
I've never heard
I'm
about
going to send
Hannah.
a message. Hannah, our warehouse manager? Yeah.
I don't think I've heard about
But I will send a message and say, at like 8 o'clock, I don't expect you to acknowledge it. Now, you better at 8 p.m. Now, you better tomorrow when at work, please acknowledge. So I always prep them with, you're going to get late messages from me because the way my brain works, I want to be able to check mark that off that I've sent it. Some people are all about like sending emails with a scheduled time. I'm not doing that. I don't know how to do that. So they just know.
I've been doing that.
But I love that you know, or that I know that you're up. Because if I got an issue, I'm texting Forrest, and then he'll start voice messaging me back. And then, but Oscar, if he was in here right now, his favorite thing is he's like, it'll be like 11, and he's like, Forrest is probably sitting on the couch in his underwear, PPCing for us right now.
Well, Oscar knows me
That's
well.
what it takes. If that's what it takes.
Guys,
you
I had to
know-
put pants on to drive down here. It's a rare event.
I
Okay.
know. But you can go home and take them off again. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, I love that. But that's how you built your business. And, I think it's funny because Jen, with Key Heart Marketing, it's all these plugs right now. One of our sponsors is with us right now. And she said, but Forrest, why don't you have a Facebook page and an Instagram? And you're like, what? But you've literally grown from word of mouth.
Yeah, I mean, we're really blessed. It's kind of crazy. We're we're just kind of in the shadows, but we take care of about 140 companies now.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Insane.
crazy,
And
yeah.
140. How many people do you have?
I have 7 employees, so yeah, we have 7 now.
when I first found Forrest, actually,
Do you have any favorite employees?
So,
that's
gosh,
an unfair question.
favorite
this is
employees. All right.
You don't have to name names.
Oh no, I'll name names because I am absolutely like my team is. Yeah, whenever you have a good team, you just feel so good in your soul.
Right.
That's how I feel about my marketing team.
Whenever you're supported by people that like really give a shizzle.
You can cuss.
We can say
Oh, I
shit.
can
We
cuss?
should.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's because it's so hard to do to find people. Like I was talking to my buddy the other day. Actually, okay, so my right hand man, his name is Sho. We went to high school together.
What? Really?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's
In
just.
this area?
No, we went out. We went to high school in South Alabama.
You're from
and
Alabama?
I'm from Daphne High School. Yeah, from Daphne, Alabama. Yeah.
How did you end up here?
Gosh, so when I was in college, I went to Alabama, and I was
Did
dating.
you know this?
No.
Does Forrest seem like he's from Alabama to
No.
you?
So my
Okay.
mom's from Boston, dad's grew up on a farm in New York. So I didn't get all of the Southern charm. Okay?
Where did the Southern? How did you
What
end up
in
in
the
Alabama?
world?
So
What's your ethnicity?
gosh, I'm Lithuanian. I don't know. What
There's
does
so
that
many
mean?
questions happening.
Right?
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, I'm half farmer, half Lithuanian.
Lithuanian.
Whatever. I don't even know what that is. Someday I'll visit the motherland. I love you, Lithuania. Anyways, so yeah, my parents, like the rest of America, got divorced when I was 3, and then mom moved down and met the man of her dreams, a Southern man from Tennessee, and he was in logistics for 30 years with a big trucking company, and was a big general manager down in Mobile, out of Mobile, Alabama. So was blessed to grow up there. South, we've got the prettiest girls.
Is that
I
how you
believe
met
it.
Fernanda?
So I met Fernanda in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
So how did you get to Dallas from Alabama?
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, this is about to we're getting some tea
I know.
right
Oh,
now.
man.
Spicy.
Okay.
Spicy.
We're about to get
So
the tea.
I was dating this really well off lady, a really well off girl in college. She was my college
Sugar
sweetheart.
mama?
College sweetheart.
Sugar mama.
And she took me to Fort Worth a couple times. We sat like floor seat at the Mavericks. We sat, home plate at the Rangers. I don't know. She was trying to put a ring on
She
it. I wasn't
sold
sold
you.
yet.
She was
Yeah.
selling something.
So anyways, I was like, after college, I was like, well, everybody in Dallas must be rich, so I better move
Dallas.
to Dallas. So I moved here, and I picked the worst city. I moved to Grand Prairie, Texas, in between Dallas and Fort Worth. Within the first month, my apartment got broken into, my truck got stolen.
Oh,
Is that a
shoot.
bad area?
Well,
Is that where you live now?
there's sketch
No,
areas
he
in every
doesn't live
city.
there now.
For sure.
I was in like the sketchiest
Okay.
situation.
I gotcha.
Whichever city has them.
Naturally, right. So naturally, like a week after I move, we break up. That's how it goes.
No.
And I'm like,
But why
okay.
did
just
but
moved.
why did you break up? Let's get into
You're
it.
getting all the tea. If
Yeah,
you're
I wanna
uncomfortable,
get
no,
you
no,
can
no,
say
no.
no.
I'm not
Forrest
uncomfortable.
is
Leslie's
not
digging.
uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable at all. Why did we break up?
You
Okay.
can give us the short
We're
and dirty.
young. Maybe young.
let's
Young
see,
and
I
dumb.
was-
Young
I
Forrest
22.
has moved to Grand Prairie, Texas, and is in love.
So I will say this: I'm very blessed to never have any vices. Like I've never been addicted to drugs, alcohol, any of that. I was a little too friendly with multiple ladies through my 20s.
No,
All right.
Forrest.
Yeah,
really?
through the 20s, early. I was a
it
bit
was
of a
over.
player. Yeah.
Okay.
He was a little player.
I
The-
was a bit of a player.
Yeah, so the nice guy card worked really well for me ever since I
Till
was
you
like
got
16.
busted.
Until I got busted.
So you got busted after being here for a week,
Yeah.
and you were out on your own, got kicked to the curb.
Out of my so I actually moved to Dallas.
Which is why he's so good at marketing.
so I'm actually
We're
good at
getting
marketing.
so get deep here.
I know, I love it. I'm good at marketing out of necessity, like every other contractor. When I moved to Dallas, I opened up 2 Men in a Truck here, a
That's
moving
right.
franchise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that.
So in 2008, I started.
And Forrest is a real estate investor.
So yeah, I've got some rental guys. I'm not that great, okay? I'm trying to
He's
hustle.
signing autographs.
Let's keep
at the
him
end.
humble,
I'm trying to
though. We
hustle
got to
out here
keep
like
him
everybody
humble.
else,
He's
okay?
trying to get out of the player
you had a
mode. He's a
franchise,
family
2 Men
man
in
now.
a
So,
Truck.
so I had a franchise, 2 Men in a Truck. I had it for 3 years. I trusted, everybody in their mama's marketing company, throwing people $2,000-3,000 a month. I was in every contractor's chair, trying to trust the right people, getting screwed over left and right. Ultimately, there were two things that I ended up selling the company at a loss. One, I didn't want to get up in the morning. Okay,
He's on the late riser. We know.
So trying to get movers to show up at 7 a.m. And the owner to show up at 7 a.m. not easy. And then two was just at the time I just wasn't. I didn't have the marketing skills, and I trusted the wrong people.
Yeah.
So I got obsessed with marketing because I was so pissed off at losing that business.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I could
That's
just
kind of awesome,
yeah.
honestly.
If I could have just got
Because
more
you've
leads.
been there, you've sat in the seat before. So, like, when I'm talking to you sometimes,
Yeah.
You get
and
it.
I'm like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
you've sat in that seat, so you can, which is probably speaks to your success in a lot of ways because you've sat there.
Yeah.
And I can't say everyone we see out there has done that.
It's fun to be able to relate with people a little more, I really appreciate like taking a phone call from a customer. I did that. I've done that thousands of 10,000
Yeah.
times, right?
Yeah.
I used to be the guy answering phones from a moving truck and with a dolly in my hand and phone in the other, trying to book calls, just trying to change your stars, right?
Yeah.
Trying to do a
So
little better.
you're
Knight's
the
Tale,
store.
great
How old
movie.
are you?
I am 40 years old. I turned 40
The
this year.
skincare is doing
You
good
know
for
what
you.
I like about
Guys, it's just-
Forrest? You want to know what I like about Forrest in comparison to his peers? Is Forrest, we might have to take this off the record. I feel like so many in our space will literally start a marketing company, hire 2 employees overseas, and start making videos and telling contractors how to run their business.
And I
Yeah.
don't. You're not.
And it
That is. I feel like
infuriates me on so many levels. Like running a marketing agency and you're literally doing both. So that's
Yeah.
probably why you don't do
that
this.
is.
It
I feel like a
makes
good
me
interpretation of him though,
crazy.
and that's why you're my longest vendor.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind the people that have a team member overseas. I work with one now that has someone.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. The problem is that
Trying to
there's
tell-
so many people that have no experience that have their name on a marketing agency and they have no freaking experience.
But their marketing for their own agency is telling contractors what they're doing wrong.
Exactly.
And I'm
Right,
like, y'all,
right.
y'all be missing the point
You're-
of what
yeah.
we're looking at here.
Yeah.
So working with you for us has been like, well, this is how this conversation with us right now is how our conversations with
Yeah,
you
in
in
real
our
life, though.
business
We
work.
just keep it real.
'Cause
yeah.
we
I'm
have a
I
relationship.
I don't send people rainbow reports every month. You don't get any. I
We're
don't need to
waiting
fluff
on
you.
some. We're waiting on
I don't
some
get to
rainbow
talk
report-
to you as much as I used to because you talk to Kaylee now because I couldn't manage it all anymore. But
Right.
you're my still. I still know I can
He's like
throw in
your
a message.
OG.
I can still
marketer.
throw in a
Anytime.
message. I still know that like if we're in a world of hurt right now and need calls, I can call you and you're still gonna tell me. You'll be like, I'm gonna get on it right now, and I know you ain't doing a damn thing any different.
It's
He's
actually
in his
not true.
boxers.
I immediately stop what I'm doing.
You do.
I
but-
take the bowl of ice cream out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And
But you sometimes because you can just talk me back out of it of like, okay, what are we doing wrong? What's the processes? Is there something? There's not some, but where a lot of people are like, okay, I want to scale. I'm going to throw thousands and thousands of dollars to people. You see this a lot, right?
Totally.
I want to scale and I know that I can get more leads with PPC. So I'm going to give you all this money. And then they're mad at you if they got the
If
calls and they
don't answer
didn't
the
scale
phone or they have horrible
didn't.
operations.
You-
so,
you have
gosh,
to have a
I
plan.
lost a client, and look, it's heartbreaking for us to lose anyone. Any agency, no one wants churn in their business.
Right.
We're very lucky, like to not lose very many. And I lost a company last week. It was heartbreaking. It was like a 4-year relationship.
Oh yeah.
And we listened to calls, and he's like, yeah, the ROI is just not there. We're only getting 2 to 1. We listen to calls. He's missing
Do you think he got sold on somebody? Did
37.5%.
he get sold on somebody else?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Someone
did.
else came in and said, I can be the
That's
hero.
what I wanted.
100%.
When you
Yeah, 100%.
sent me that in my head, he told me
Yeah.
to put it below my chin.
Okay.
Yeah, because the guy's selling you, and
Because
God
he
bless the
didn't
big
even know
agencies.
operationally what he was doing wrong, or he wasn't
And you
willing
have
to
to
take that
tell them,
feedback.
like, well, again, you can tell me that we're closing 74% of our calls,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just going to brag on myself because I know I'm your best customer, one of your best customers.
All day.
Top 10, maybe top
You're
5.
tied for first with Leslie.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Winning.
you're welcome for the referral, Leslie. I'm just kidding. But I
That's
know that
true.
you don't have, that's not all of your clients. You have a lot of them who want it to coast, and nothing in PPC or freaking any marketing you're paying for can coast. You have to have a plan. And then you
Well,
have
yeah.
to be receptive when Forrest calls you and says, you suck right now.
Who's more receptive when you talk to, and this isn't a like us against them, when you're dealing with the husband and wife team or whoever's in marketing, who's more receptive to your feedback, the male or females?
Male or female? Okay.
I'm just curious. It's that I am not starting
Let's
an
see here.
argument.
Honestly,
Maybe she is.
I mean, if
I am not.
if I had to lean in a direction, I think 100% female. I got to give a shout out to Complete Comfort in Indianapolis. So Ken is Ken Hale, wonderful owner. Okay, so he hired this marketing manager, operation manager named Brittany. Okay, we were struggling. Ken was with me. He's like, Ken, yeah, he was like, Forrest, I know we're going to get better. It was like 3x for a year, you know, and we're just trying to get through it. We had a few 5x months. Anyways, he hires Brittany. Brittany, empathy, trust. She goes, man, okay, I'm listening to calls. We go through some calls together. Okay. I don't know how they pulled it off, and they still have a low budget. But September, somehow they hit a 22x.
What?
Hit a 22x.
insane.
What was the change?
They waived service call fee when
Okay.
they needed to.
Yeah.
They just
Which was you saying, hey,
Yeah.
guys,
With search
listen,
call
what
fee.
I'm saying.
We've talked about this. How
Yeah.
many of your people just refuse to do that? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, if you already paid even if you just paid $100,
It's a
for the
mental
call.
thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing that we're taught on the side of the contractor that we have to do to differentiate ourselves between the it's contractors teaching contractors that they need to differentiate themselves when they're not thinking about the customer experience and their
Oh, yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
And so we
100%.
have to overcome. It's like an unwashing of brainwashing,
Right.
what we've been taught.
Yeah.
Totally. And yeah, I think, and us as, as business owners and managers, we're hard-headed. We're set in
Yeah.
our ways, and so I think, for me, a lot of companies go, oh, you're just the vendor.
Right. They don't think you know what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think that, more contractors should listen to the advice of their
Yeah.
vendors, because, Mr. Owner, I'm sorry, you don't do SEO every day. You don't do PPC every day. Right.
Right.
And so, now what I will encourage is say, okay, so fine, you have your vendor, but it's okay to get a second opinion as
Sure.
well. Right.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
but yeah, I do wish more contractors were receptive to the advice we give. A lot of
Well,
people, just do
And
the
a
same
lot
old,
of
same
times,
old.
a lot of I can talk to my experience with you specifically, and other people. I think some of the best advice you've ever get. Well, when I've said, hey, what are other people doing? And you tell me the good things and the bad things other people are doing. And then I decipher how I can do it better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Because if you're openly being able to say, I have several contractors who aren't willing to do this, then why wouldn't I try?
Right.
I asked your age earlier because I felt like, you're
What
like,
did
I
you
just
say,
had this
40?
I'm at 40. I
When
hit
were
40 in
you
March.
Okay.
Turned 40 in March, yeah.
I think that our age, I'm 38, I think. I'm
I
38.
can't believe you can stay up till 2 now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a
That's your
circadian rhythm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
his rhythm, but that's your college rhythm.
Yeah, so
too. It was your college
wifey
rhythm.
gets the kids up in the morning. I am in bed. Actually, sometimes I get this like real blessing of like waking up and watching her leave the room, knowing she has to get out and get the kids ready, and I just get to go
You're
back to
such
sleep.
a little sucker for that, Forrest.
She probably
Yeah.
wants to throw a shit
I
at you.
know.
Probably, but nighttime and obviously getting into another conversation of just work-life balance. But nighttime, I make up for it. I'm full-time.
100% you do, because I'm telling you, I've talked to you at midnight. But I've
been on Zoom calls and Google Meet calls with my kids a lot. I have them in the lap and going, okay, we'll increase your budget.
I do too, and I love it. I think that's the world we live in.
I've talked to you, I think, walking through your neighborhood, and you got to walk in the kids. You're like, hey, I'm out here. Or he'll voice message me, and he'll be like, voice memo, and he'll be like, out here walking with the kids, but I was thinking about this and this and this and this. But that is what works for you. And I think that that's why I appreciate my relationship with you, is knowing that.
Yeah, I think that it's just customer service. As much as you want to love and serve on, love on your customers, I want to make sure that you need to know that your vendors are accessible, and that we are here as a support system for you. Because, if your operation sucks, I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
If my marketing sucks,
and that's hard for you.
Yeah. If I send you garbage calls, you're not going to be profitable, right? And so I think, we really, the best agencies really embrace that this whole thing is a partnership. It really is. And I really take that seriously. We try to be transparent.
So I could talk to you for the rest of the day. I love talking with you. I think you have a lot of knowledge in our space, and you've done a lot.
We both love Forrest.
We're Forrest fans, clearly.
You guys are the best.
We're glad he came out.
If someone... I'll just let you know the Tulsa market is locked up. You cannot hire Forrest.
Never again. Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, respectfully.
Exclusivity is another conversation. Yeah.
It is a whole conversation, but I do appreciate your opinion on it, because you know what you need to do.
Because so many don't hold the same.
They don't, and I think that you can't make us all in smaller areas. Now larger, maybe, right?
Yeah, there's only a couple. There's only one place at the top of Google.
Right. I would say the highlight of this episode is Forrest calling himself a bit of a player. He said a bit of a player.
Yeah.
But he's not when it comes to his PPC. So
he is not a bit of a player when it comes to PPC.
So if someone wanted to reach out to you for to talk to you about PPC, how would they do that?
Gosh, you can text me. I'm casual.
You can page him on his pager.
Yes, hit my pager. I'll send you a couple.
Do you even have a website?
I do. It's embarrassing. You can go to perrymarketing.com.
It's funny that literally this is hilarious to me because some people would be like, "Who is this
actually
dude?"
Yeah,
the best.
He is
PPC.
legit.
But he needs his own marketing and branding manager.
He does, but he doesn't need. But I think that still says a lot. You have 140 companies without a Facebook and Instagram or a really good website.
Hey, give me a month. I'm going to wow you guys with the website.
Can me and Cassie do your marketing and branding?
Guys, I would love that.
We're gonna blow you up.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Bit of a player.
That's gonna be my headline. Bit of a player with your PPC. Shouty.
That's so funny. You haven't had to though.
Yeah, I've never had to, and I've been blessed to really just meet great people. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I've said his name a couple times, but Tommy Mello, I was blessed to know him, but blessed to work with you guys, and you guys who we all kind of live and breathe in this community together. I think the best contractors, the best operators understand that we are better together.
Yeah.
Right. And things like this podcast, sharing ideas, and it just makes us all stronger. So it's the best.
Well, we'll have Rita put your contact information in the show notes so they can reach out if anyone's interested.
We'll tag you.
You have our blessing of, again, I'm not ever looking for another PPC dude because I tried them all and we're home where we need to be.
We are home.
You know what, Cassie? I need an updated picture on your website. Because I never got an updated picture. It was like 70 pounds ago for you.
I know.
Like,
it doesn't look like the same person.
No,
People
it
message me all the time, and then they're like, I just saw this ad of you. And I was like, oh, but here's the other thing is people all the time will say, I just saw this ad. And I'm like, don't click that one. That's a PPC ad. And then they're like, well, they need to change the picture. And I'm like, but he probably has like a million of those. Like how many? I mean, a lot. It would be impossible to change every ad every time I lost 20 pounds.
No, you can look for you every 2 pounds.
AI.
Just updated pictures.
AI.
Do it.
Change all the pictures. So I'm like, it's fine. But yeah, I know there's a few pictures out there on a few of our ads that a lot of way to go.
But I will say this to those pictures, right? Contractors out there, this is also a huge. We didn't even get into how important conversions are for your website. So we are in an age where of private equity, of corporations. So run your business like a corporation, but everything your customer sees, local, family owned. Show the husband and wife, put the dog and the kids in the picture. That stuff is conversion gold because, again, it goes back to you want to know the technician going into your house, right? So if I see that this brand is living, breathing, wow, these are humans. You don't have to be a model, right?
Well,
but
I
just
think,
be real.
Well, and that's why we both spend so much time on short form video and TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook because it tells a story before we even get in the home.
That's our team. And our dog, our Pookie, our bulldog, she's like famous at this point. She's never gone. I mean, she's gone viral a few times, not anything crazy. But I was at Super Meeting and people were asking me about Pookie, and I was like, "What?" And Kaylee was like cracking up because they would come up to her and be like, "We see Pookie on TikTok and whatever." But it's crazy how all of that ties back in together because you're telling
it's part of a whole recipe.
Yeah,
yeah,
and one
100%.
big story.
Success.
Yep, 100%. Well, gosh, yeah, I wish there was a silver bullet in marketing, right?
There's not.
There's just not.
They got to quit looking for it.
Yeah.
If let's normalize that, there's not a silver bullet. You just have to work hard, and you have to have a process 100%. For when the call gets to you.
You just have to work hard and be a bit of a playa.
That's it.
Well, we appreciate you,
yes.
and I can't wait to see how 2024 goes for Champion
Thank you,
Quality and
Forrest.
Forrest Perry Marketing.
Yeah, you guys are wonderful. I mean, I love women in the trades. I hope I get a hat so I can rock some pink swag. Okay.
We're sending Oscar down for the hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Did you bring some?
Yeah, they're in the truck.
Okay.
But thanks for the opportunity to join you guys.
We love you.
It really
Forrest.
means a lot.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review on Apple and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.